Mm. Yep, we'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday night's edition of the Sports Dummies. And we are going to be talking a lot tonight about some recap of the weekend, some college, some trades, which one of us just found out recently. I knew he didn't. Um, what that may entail, what's it look like, what's everything mean going forward. Um, we got to do our Thursday picks. We got to do our college picks. And pretty typical Tuesday show, but we're gonna blow through this and talk as much as we can about what's going on. So with that being said, what's up, Mike? How's it going? What's going
Hey,
on?
what's up,
What's
buddy?
new?
How are
Nothing
you?
much. I'm good.
Kinda,
Just saw that the NHL Frenzy was tonight. Their special 32 team, 16 game, one day frenzy where they have everybody playing all at one time through the course
yeah,
of the day. Penguins took on the Flyers, which they lost to 3-2. I didn't watch the game, but typically a Flyers Penguins game is usually pretty gritty and
yeah,
close.
good game. Penn's got a
Yeah.
point. Had a questionable call in overtime, kind of kill him. Should have been a goal, but
Yeah.
weird, kind of weird. I've never seen a call like this, but good game. Got a point on the road, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Young team playing really well.
well, that's good. That's good. Good to
Yeah,
hear. Um, I definitely am still sour about Tristan Jari. So I'm definitely one of those fans that don't want don't want him around. Excuse me. I want them to dump him.
well, right. The best thing he could do is keep playing well because he'll be gone sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
So
yeah. He needs
you
to
know,
build up. Yeah, you're right. He needs to build up his draft stock or his trade
right.
stock.
Right.
Yeah. So
There's a
you're
few teams in Canada that like him. So,
right.
have him play well the first 20 games of the season, get rid of him. And we have the kid down the minors, Mirashov, who is amazing right now,
Oh,
just
good,
almost unbeatable. So,
good, good. I know Crosby's got one more year after this, but I think Letang and Malkin, I think, are they both done after this year?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it seems like they want to get rid of Gino. He probably playing his last year.
That's
But
what I
Tang,
heard.
I think he'll play as long as he wants to. I think the Penguins are going to give him that option, but I think this is going to be his last year. And I hope they deal Carlson before the end of the year just to get something for him. The guy made two bad plays that led to two goals tonight. So
Mhm.
but you take good or bad with him. He's really good offensively, very bad defensively. So you know,
Right, which is also it. Carlson too. Is he a defenseman as well?
yeah, yeah, he is.
Right.
Yes,
So we need we need you to be a defensive man,
right,
not an offensive defensive man. We have one of
right,
those. His
right.
name's is Chris
That's
Letang.
his niches in the league. His niche in the league is definitely an offensive defenseman, but he used to play a little defense. Now he's like the Olay defense. Like, gives up the puck constantly. He had a +3 coming in the last two games and just really shut the bed the last two games. And you could tell he's not there mentally on the defensive end. He needs a strong guy, partner, but his turnovers just really bad leading to goals. So, we moved from young guys, man, who are ready to play, and they're rotating in 7, 8 defensemen. Two really young guys, but they lost Caleb Wilson the other day. But Caleb Jones, I'm sorry, for about 8 weeks. Plus, they lost Richard Raquel. So they have some holes there, but some of the young guys they've called up Pinkerton on defense, and some of the young guys like Hollander on offense are going to fill some holes along with the young guys. So it's going to be a fun year, different vibe around this team. Definitely a fun year to watch them for sure.
Yeah, they definitely got younger. Obviously with the
Yeah.
draft and everything like that, and some of these guys they're calling up from the minors and whatnot, and they seem to have gotten younger, with the exception of the three old heads that we have here that we were able to keep together for
Right.
20 years. So yeah, I've caught a couple games, partially, and their scores have been outstanding. So
Yeah.
definitely have been. excited to see what is going to come of this season.
Yeah. Aiden with walking around number 5. That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So yeah,
Happy birthday, bud.
yeah. So yes, it is his birthday today.
Yes.
He turned
Yes.
5 today, and
Happy
yes,
birthday, bud.
he got a big
Yes.
number 5 balloon, which he's super pumped about it. So he's been messing with it all day. Probably
Yeah, if you would have told me 10 games into the season, Malcolm would be number 1 in the league in scoring, Sid would be 4th or 5th, and the Pen would be 7-2-2, I'd take it. So
right.
yeah.
Absolutely. So so that's hockey talk. Way to go. So going
Let's
over.
jump right into the Steelers. Let's jump right in. We've got a lot to talk
Okay.
about.
All right. You don't want to get your feet wet. You want to just jump in, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we have a lot to talk about. Unless you want to start somewhere else, that's fine.
Okay. No, we could start. We could certainly start there because that'll just flow into everything else. I think I was wrong when I said earlier, especially this past week, when I said we're 8 weeks into the season, we already know who teams are, right? Their identities have been
Right.
their identities have been they have been on display. We know what they can do. We know what they can't do. You know, we'll start out with the Steelers and what they can and cannot do. What they can't do is rely on Mike Tomlin to let himself continuously fiddle fuck this defense. He needs to get out of the defensive room. He needs to be a head coach, not a coach anywhere in these offensive meetings or these defensive meetings. You need to manage everything else. Let these coordinators do what they need to do because you, being a defensive minded coach, are letting up or having the worst defense in the league for the past 4 to 5 years. And from what the consensus says on the internets, is that this DC that we have is consensually from whatever type of survey that they took. He is the 7th best DC in the league at right now. And it's not showing. It's showing he is the 33rd best defensive coordinator in the league. And there's only 32 of them.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to bring up what I always say. Tom has been in the league 19 years. His coaching tree he has as many head coaches under him as you and I do. 0. That tells you all you need to know.
Exactly.
He does
no
not,
coaching tree whatsoever.
Right. He does. That's an embarrassment, by the way.
Terrible.
He does not bring in quality coaches to coach under him because he wants wants total control.
Yes.
And the adjustments at halftime are non-existent once again.
There wasn't
once
any.
Again. Green Bay did everything. We couldn't do anything. So, and that's just this week. The Bengal game, the same thing.
Right.
A funny thing I heard on the way home today from work. Aaron Rodgers kind of ultimate professional.
Of course.
Of course. Putting the blame in, kind of saying we should have done more as an offense. Listen, you're putting up the points like you have the last 2 weeks. With any kind of a semblance of a defense, we win both of those games.
Absolutely.
Huge loss was Deshaun Elliott. This defense just took a major hit. He just went on IR.
Right.
To me, he's going to be out for the year. I know we've had conflicting reports about that. A couple people says out for a year. A couple people says hyperextended knee. It's going to be week to week. Well, he's on IR, so he's at least out 4 weeks. They made a trade, which I didn't know about before I came on. With the Patriots, we get a 6th-round pick. We get Kyle Duggar back, and we get a 7th-round back. So it's basically just, here you go. He hadn't fit into our system. Here you go. So between Chuck Clark, Kyle Duggar, Joey Thornburg, and who's the other guy we signed? Number 40.
Oh, Jabril Peppers.
Those guys are going to be the safeties right now, unless I've heard rumors that they're going to throw in Eccles back there. Try to. He put a little safety with the Jets, and they also signed a veteran safety today. Also, I can't remember his name. Maybe you have it. They worked out a few, but they did sign a veteran safety today also, who's played sort of 11 games 2 years ago. But that defense is in flux, and when you take out your play caller, which Elliott was, and you see how bad in the 5 possessions they had in the second half without him, Green Bay scored every time.
Mm-hmm.
20 straight completions. I'm not stuttering when I say that. It's a Green Bay record to tie Brett Favre. There's a reason that happened, and Elliott got the guys in position, made sure everyone was doing their job. For a guy on the highest paid defense, he was a guy making $7 million a year. But he was, to me, the best defensive player we've had this year on that team. And to lose him is a huge blow, and we'll see how we recover. I just don't understand what they're trying to do. I've been questioning it, all season how bad they've been. And again, once again, they couldn't get off the field on third down when it mattered. So,
right. And they even have hybrid. Why can't I think of hybrid Jalen Ramsey as well back there, who
right.
Plays in a dime. From what I understand, they've done completely away with nickel this year. They're only in
Right.
and and I didn't see this. I didn't see
Back
this
I was
earlier.
listening to, by the way.
Right, and I didn't see
Eric
this
Ford.
earlier. You had mentioned this before, but the Steelers also signed wide receiver MVS, Marquez Valdez Scantling as well. So
Yeah, one thing that I just heard before we got on, reports are he won't be with the team for another week. We'll see how that comes into play. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if that's solid or not, but as a report I heard as I was coming in here to get on.
So here's my. I'm gonna run through my thoughts real quick here, and then you can. So, yes, Elliott, from what I heard, hyperextended his knee. There was no tears or anything like that, and anything that he did with his knee. So my guess wasn't a hyperextension, but it's the same knee that he's had issue with all year so far. So it doesn't sound like it's gotten better, even though he played and got hurt again. So it doesn't sound like it gotten better. So they're going to put him on, from what I understand, season-ending IR, which is why they made the trade for Kyle Duggar with New England, who, like you said, gets a 26 sixth round pick. We get a 26 seventh round pick plus the player. So not to mention, I also heard, or I just read that the New England is going to pick up some of that $9.75 million salary as well to help out, which is fucking fantastic, considering the fact that we have the highest paid defense and we can't stop anything. We can't buy a win on defense right now, considering that we were able to buy everybody else. But that is neither here nor there. You go out and you get an MVS. Okay, great. What is that going to do with the fact that we have decent wide receivers in our room right now, which I think could compete with the rest of the league? The problem is that we're still working on the fact that we are. It seems like our offensive play calls are complete shite. They abandon the run way too easily.
Yes, I was going to say that big time. 3 carries for Warren in the second half.
Right.
I don't understand.
They abandoned the run way too easily. And again, we talked about the identity. What is the identity of the Pittsburgh Steelers? Are we a passing team? Are we a running team? Are we a team that just can't stop anybody on defense? Well, that all turns out to be true. That nobody knows what we are, and our defense is damn near awful. The Patriots, who we have beaten 21-14 this year, beat the Cleveland Browns, who beat the Green Bay Packers, who the Green Bay Packers just demolished us. We also lost to
like a Hall of Famer.
We also lost to Cincinnati, who lost to the New York Jets this past weekend. So again, what does that mean for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Well, it means that we are fucking lost, more than lost. We are losing games we shouldn't. We are losing games we should. It's going to be hard to get behind this team again this year. I mean, looking at the schedule going forward, I'm having a hard time wanting to pick the Steelers in any of it. Why? Because we don't trust defense. You know, you
Yeah,
want you didn't fix anything on signing a guy, signing a new safety doesn't fix anything. You need to fix your internal issues, not your external issues. Your
and
internal
let's show
issues is
action too,
your
maybe.
your coaching and your play calling on defense is atrocious. There was no sacks, none.
No sacks. They had 12 missed tackles.
There
Um,
was over 200 and 244 yards of yak yards
yeah,
after contact
yes,
within the last
yeah,
two games. Over 700 yards after contact given up,
yes.
which means we need to figure out a way to go back to the basics.
Well, let me tell you a guy who doesn't help. Big play Darius Slay is awful right now. Has missed numerous tackles. The only guy I saw hitting out there was unfortunately Elliott, and he's gone now.
Mm-hmm.
They are just a team in flux on defense. They look clueless out there. They look totally lost.
Right.
Um, you know, you see the interviews after the game. They want to say the right things, but saying it and doing is two different things. They're not getting it done, man. I mean, they did stop Jacobs, but guess what? Wilson came in and tore him up in the fourth quarter.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah.
they need to run though. Jordan Love just throwing it up there like grenades, and they were catching everything. So
Here's probably one of the more alarming stats that looking at a Pittsburgh defense that's probably going to send you over the edge. There's only 2 sacks on the last 86 dropbacks, and that was including Sunday. So we're not getting any pressure.
and I'm gonna jump on you with that one. Why are you giving Nick Herbig 24 snaps? He's been your best pass rusher this year, honestly. Um, TJ, I don't know if he's lost a step. I know they keep chipping him with everything, but he's been non-existent, and Highsmith has done nothing. So,
I mean,
you
you
know,
can't. The whole defense has done nothing. All of them.
right,
Baby Cam Hayward, who just needed that fucking money this year to start the year. You're going to sit here and you're going to complain about needing to get paid more, and then this is how you play.
right,
TJ, you got your money. You were due for it anyway. Okay, you're having a bad year. They all have it. Okay,
right,
but if that's the case, and if they're chipping you, which means they're putting 2 people on you, why isn't the other side getting any penetration?
right, exactly,
Or why isn't somebody else on your side, TJ, getting freed to get
right,
into the backfield? I don't understand it. Especially if you're running that 3-4, you should be able to have somebody get in there. But it doesn't even look like they've been running 3-4 lately. They've been running
no,
4-3.
yeah, and also we're not blitzing. That's the one thing I've noticed. Like we're sending 4 guys, and when you send 4, you're dropping back 7 to cover 3 or 4, and you're still getting torn up.
Mm-hmm.
It's the system's broken, man. The system's broken.
Yeah, I mean,
There's so
I don't know what the stats are on what they run as far as man or zone, but it seems like it's zone because they're getting.
Yeah, I'll tell you because they said that it said today on the fan they played they in the first half they played 42% man, and that's when they looked the best. They played 42% zone, and the rest was base defense. Okay, during those, so here's the weird thing: in the second half, they went all zone. But didn't blitz, which I understand because you're putting more guys in the back. But if you're not getting any pressure, blitz and play man. Obviously they couldn't figure it out, so you might as well try something.
I hate to tell you, but if you're not gonna blitz and you're only sending 4 and you're dropping back 7 into zone,
right?
Jordan Love, who hasn't been a starter that long, but
Right.
Jordan Love, who hasn't been a starter that long, basically sat behind one of the best teachers.
Yes.
And is now eviscerating your defense because you're scared of the long ball? Well, you got torched for that too.
Yeah.
So,
second week in a row we couldn't cover a receiver. Last week was Jamar Chase. This week it was a tight end, Tucker.
which
You know?
thank you, Tucker, Tucker Kraft, because you had 143 yards on 7 catches and 2 touchdowns, which ended up winning me $7.50
There you go. There you go.
because I took him at a plus 750 for Sunday only to have the most yards for a tight end on National Tight End Day.
Really? Good call. Good call.
Yep, yep.
Awesome.
I put it in the bets, so it's in the bet.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I don't know if you can see it while I have this up, but it was actually a plus 650, and it was most
Okay,
receiving
nice.
yards, tight ends only, Sunday only. So, yep, it's in the bets. So yeah, I hit on that. I also hit for Monday night. Yeah, I hit Monday night as well. For 1536.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so night $2 to win $22. I'll take it.
1,000%. Beautiful thing.
Hey, you don't need to break the bank in order to have some fun and make a little bit of
That's
money.
right. That's right. That's right.
So
Like a scratch ticket, like you said, like a scratch ticket. You win
like
20 bucks on a
hey,
scratch ticket, I'm happy.
yeah, it's like a scratch off. I just
Yep.
basically won gas money. So
Yep.
But boy, you want to talk about tearing this team down and rebuilding it? I think they're going to need to. I think they're going to
Yeah.
need to.
You know,
You
your
know,
two best players are easily Aaron Rodgers and Chris Boswell.
yeah. Which
You know,
Boswell better get freaking paid
he
after
better
this
get
year.
paid.
He
Yeah, he
better
better
get
get
paid.
paid. Guy's money in the bank.
He's about the only one that deserves it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do they say all the time? You know, if you keep doing the same thing and expect different results, it's the definition of insanity, right?
Insanity. Yes.
Okay. So, what's also been the common denominator in the last 4 to 5 years on why we have the worst defense in the league? Is it TJ? No. Is it Cam Hayward? No.
Defense coordinator.
Is it anybody else other than what the top?
No.
Right. What
Right.
happens? What happens with shit? It always rolls downhill, right?
Right.
So if you want to find the source of that shit, you have to go up higher. Well,
Yep.
we might seriously need to look into DC and head coach to make
Yep.
sure that we have the proper people in place. You know, again, what are we paying this guy for? Mediocrity to have no losing seasons in a regular season?
The standard's a standard. 8-1, 9-8. That's a standard. So
But
yeah,
again,
that's what we're playing for.
how much longer are we going to let this go?
Right.
How much
Right.
longer are we going to let this go to the point where we're like, all right, look, colleges have done it. They've gotten sick of it.
Oh, this year especially.
Right. Right. So if you're not winning, what are you? And winning doesn't mean the regular season, because guess what do they say every time the playoffs start? Doesn't matter what you did in the regular season. That's all
Right.
shit.
Right.
That's all shit. This is over.
Right.
This is game one. This is day one.
What's Ricky Bobby saying? You ain't first or last.
That's it, baby. That's it. I want to go fast. I want to go fast.
Yep.
Well, I want to go fast too. I want firings now.
Right.
I want to go fast. So,
Yep.
Again, you know, this is going to be the standard. Is the standard. This is going to be status quo moving forward until Tomlin goes. And I know we've had this argument. I argued this in the off season here. I don't think anybody wants this guy. And all these stupid analysts are out there saying, "Well, he's the best coach in the league," and this and that. It's like, I'm sure you're all saying that, so there's no public scrutiny for him to get fired. Because if he gets fired, then maybe the Steelers actually start getting good, and nobody wants that. You guys want us to be bullied. You don't want us to be the bully. You want us to get bullied.
The offseason was Chicago did offer picks for him in a trade, which they should have done. You know, to me, resetting this team is what this team needs. You know, you look at what's out there in the AFC. We're nowhere near. Even if somehow, by the good Lord's hand on us, we upset Indy this weekend. This team is nowhere near a contender in the AFC.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If we upset Indy, what does that mean for us? I guarantee you, it means nothing to both of these teams.
Right. Right.
Why?
Right.
Because Indianapolis is going to go on and they're just going to keep winning. They just had a bad game.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
we going to build on that win? No,
No. No.
no, we won't. Not at all. I don't think it does anything for either team.
No. No.
And, that's great for Indy because if they lose, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. That's a bad game. We'll move on.
Right.
For the Steelers, they're going to think it's the best thing in the world.
At this point right now, listen, the odds are still stacked. It's funny. We're 4-3. Baltimore's 2-5, and they're the odds-on favorites still to win this division. What's that tell you?
I don't doubt it.
Right. Me neither.
Especially if Lamar stays healthy for the rest of the year.
Well, yeah. Right.
They're gonna win out. I have no doubt that they'll end up winning out. They'll be what, 12-5? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A definite winners.
Yep.
We're gonna be lucky if we do finish over 500. And at this point, I hope we don't.
Me too.
Because then again, I hope that is the catalyst for saying, okay, we're done with mediocrity. We've been doing mediocrity forever. When was the last time we won a playoff game? Yeah, great. You make it to the playoffs, but you're there for 1 week and you're embarrassed.
You're totally embarrassed. Yeah. Yeah.
To the point where the team that's playing us should just have a fucking bye.
110%. 110%. Yeah.
So, yeah. Yep. I mean, again, how do we fix it? You got to go higher. Got to go higher to fix it because the product that's out there, the coaching that we're displaying, there isn't any. So you got to go higher. You got to take, the thumb out of your mouth. And
I'm just gonna, at some point, just like Philadelphia did with Andy Reid. Andy Reid went on to do good things because he's a good coach. At some point, coaches get stale. This is the best you're going to see with any franchise. He's a mediocre coach that can win 9 games a year, but he can't take you any further. So why are we still doing this? Like you said, insanity galore. Let's reset, start over, start fresh, move on after the season. I'm sure Rodgers probably going to retire after this year. We have a lot of draft capital. Go pick a quarterback, build from up that way, and let's go. And
I'm so glad that you brought up the Andy Reid thing because this is a great example of it. Because Philadelphia fired Andy Reid when he went to 4 straight NFC Championship games.
3 NFC title games. Yeah, 3 title games. Yeah, insane.
So at that point in time, you're thinking to yourself, they're crazy for doing this. The guy gets to the championship, the conference championship every single year. Why are you going to fire this guy? Well,
right,
like you said, coaches need a reset. Teams need a reset.
Yes, they do. Absolutely.
Look what happened. You had Doug Peterson. You go win a Super Bowl. You get Nick Sirianni in the second year. What happened? You go and win a Super Bowl.
Right.
Andy Reid goes to Kansas City.
He won Super Bowl. So
Andy Reid goes to Kansas City. What's he do? He goes and wins almost 3 Super Bowls back to back.
Right.
So, and he builds a dynasty while he's there.
Right.
Where they're expecting Kansas City to be in the AFC, if not Super Bowl, every single year.
So my one last thing I want to say about him is he keeps saying the phrase, and it's over and over and over again in his press conferences. We don't live in our own fears. Yes, you do. Every week you do. There was a national survey today who came out, which is pretty funny, on the Fan.
Mm-hmm.
What coach was the worst? Who acts like it's the worst thing in the world to go for on 4th down in the game? 31 out of 35 guys voted Mike Tomlin. That's hilarious. It's true.
Not a coincidence.
No.
All right. Well, like you said, I think we can put this one to bed for tonight.
Yeah.
All right. So, quick little recap on some of the games and some of the notes that I have here. We already talked about Tucker. We already talked about Pittsburgh having no sacks. We already talked about the Steelers getting the trade, which the New England Patriots also sent Keon White over to the 49ers.
2 trades today.
Yeah, I didn't see. I think they also signed somebody too off their practice.
Yeah, I think so.
But anyway, I don't know what the Keon White deal was for. I just saw the name.
Me too.
Real quick, I mentioned.
Robert McCreary got dealt from Tennessee to San Francisco.
Yeah, I did
I mean
see
to
that
the
too.
Rams. I'm sorry, to the Rams. Pick up a nice cornerback, pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So
No big names though. No like real
no,
huge names or
no,
anything like that.
no.
I would call them probably yeah, I'd probably call them either B or C list
Yeah,
celebrities if that's the case.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Um, the Jets get their first win. Makes Pittsburgh look like shit in the looks like shit in the process. Um, and Miami.
Yeah.
What
So
what are we doing here?
uh, I'm on that game, but let's talk about the other team, Atlanta.
We were all on
So
Atlanta, by the way. We were all on Atlanta.
no, even with Kirk Cousins, I was on Atlanta. Um, wow, that's the second time this season they've totally laid an egg.
Yeah, I don't
You
think
know,
after that, I don't think Atlanta's for real.
I don't think so either at all.
I mean, obviously, we know that Miami's not for real, but
Right, but they won. I mean, Miami still has some playmakers. Jalen Waddle and A-Chain are very good.
which
The defense is suspect,
they had a huge
but
game.
huge games, right? Huge games. Surprisingly, Tua had a bounce back game, but I have no confidence in Miami doing anything this year.
No,
In Atlanta,
so
I'm with you, man. I'm off that boat. I'm off that boat.
I am.
You
So
know,
here's a quick little stat off of that game. Miami's rush defense was last in the NFL. Is last in the NFL. They held the fourth ranked Falcons to 45 yards on 17 carries.
wow, under 3 yards per carry, unbelievable,
Mm-hmm.
unreal.
Mm-hmm. And if that doesn't show you that Bijan Robinson isn't that team's playmaker, what does?
Right, right. I watched
Um,
a bit of that game, bits and pieces,
right.
and Kirk couldn't get out of his own way. He had no time to throw,
I
too.
mean,
But
you're talking about a
he
guy.
hasn't been he's thrown in on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you're talking about a guy who is a frequent starter, guy that had the keys to the office. He had the keys to the Bentley, and now he's been relegated to the bench and only sees sporadic work, and then he gets thrown
right.
into a game midway through the the week or
It
something
was
like
like
that.
Thursday, I think. The Penix popped up on the injury report. That was kind of shocking.
Yeah. So I mean, he's cold. You're talking about
Yeah,
talking about throwing in a pitcher in the middle of a hot game when
correct.
you're down you're down by one and the bases are juiced and
Right,
you're trying to throw this pitcher in there to say, hey, go make a play and win it for us.
right.
Can't do it.
Good luck.
It's cold.
Yeah,
Especially when the team that you're pitching against is hot, but still.
yeah.
So yeah. Big blow out of the Giants. Cam dislocates his ankle. He's done for the year. Huge blow to them. Philadelphia capitalizes.
Very ugly injury.
Yeah, Philadelphia capitalizes. They rout the Giants after that. Bills, no surprise there, 40-9 over Carolina. San Francisco.
By the way, missed back-to-back weeks for the touchdown by about 6 inches.
Yeah. I'm sure there was a lot of things that were missed by 6 inches for a lot of people.
You got that right.
Oh man.
It's funny you say that. I saw a guy who missed a tight end was stretching for a touchdown. If he gets in the end zone, he wins $15 million. And they marked him short by 4 inches.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Right call, though. It was a right call. It was just,
Yeah, but that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah. It was like a two-legger.
So Chicago ends up laying an egg again. Again, this is probably another team where can't trust them. I thought I could. Thought I could trust them. They were on a 4-game win streak or whatever it was.
Right.
And Baltimore, Baltimore looks like they're back to Baltimore.
Right. Yep.
Surprising game out of the 49ers, dropping one to Houston. Is Houston back? It's looking like it.
Um, I'm not sure. I picked Houston to win that game. I just had a feeling about that matchup.
You did.
I don't know. I'm not ready to say Houston's back. I just think the Niners had a bad game. I give Houston's defense credit. They shut down CMC. They forced two turnovers, interceptions by Mac Jones. But I just think it was a good game for Houston and a really bad game for the Niners. I'm not ready to say either team's down or back, but Houston needed that a lot. So, to stay even relevant in the AFC race for a playoff spot, which I don't think they're going to make. So,
And then moving along here, we have Tampa Bay and the Saints. Not surprised here, 23-3, Tampa Bay. Here's the big news out of New Orleans right now. Tyler Shock, he is starting.
Finally, yes.
We had just
we called
had this
last
huge,
week. We asked that question.
Yep. We just had this huge diatribe on Friday about when is Tyler going to get his chance. Well, it sounds like somebody is listening because Tyler's getting his shot.
Right.
So we will have to remember that going into this week when we pick games that Tyler is making his debut, and we should take that into consideration when we pick. Just to take a quick look into it, they're playing the Rams, so tough task.
Tough task, yeah.
Tough task, but we'll see how it goes. Denver and Dallas. Denver's for real. No other way about it.
Denver's for real. An oddity in the game.
So there's their defense though. Their defense is for real.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
To shut down that team. To shut down that team.
Yeah. And to shut down Jason Ferguson. One target.
Right.
One target.
And that's the other thing too. If you have the best tight end in the game right now, right? The hottest tight end in the game right now, who's leading the league and leading all tight ends, and I think in every category.
Right.
What are you doing giving him one target?
I have no idea. It's funny you say that. So Denver, they over under CeeDee Lamb, 1-on-1 Wally Moss against Pickens, and they had any other runabout linebacker or safety on Ferguson. You got one target. I don't understand. Didn't understand that one, but kudos to Denver. They showed up. They played great. They blew them out. I mean,
blew them out by 20. Blew them out by 20. What was your take on it? You said you were starting to say something.
Oh, I'm with you about Dallas. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what your strength is. Your strength is your wide receivers and your tight end. But they came into the game. They were able to run the ball the first two series. Then they stopped. But they just weren't feeding the ball to, if Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are covered, go to your man. Go to the best guy in the league right now at this position. They didn't.
Right.
So I was very baffled by that. But it's very obvious the Achilles heel of the Cowboys is they can't get to the quarterback, which we all knew of that. And to me, that's going to be their downfall. I still think they'll put points up this year and score. Win some games. Might make the playoffs, but that defense is going to be their downfall for sure. So,
agreed. And then I'm just finishing. I don't know why, but I didn't have these finished. Nope. Yep. Oh. Okay. Indianapolis takes on Tennessee, 38-14. Not a surprise there. Even though it was a very large spread, 14.5, Colts still rolled. Obviously, the Sunday night game, which we talked heavily about, and then Washington and Kansas City on Monday night. Kansas City does Kansas City things and beats them 28-7. Kind of a slower game, only 28-7. Still have no problem with the 11.5 spread that was on that team there, but a little bit surprised that Washington didn't get more going, but they seemed like they were going down left and right. Laramie Tunzel comes out of the game, hamstring issue. Terry McLaurin comes out of the game, hamstring issue. Same thing that's been bothering him all year, essentially. Yeah. So Um, yeah, not looking good for the Washington Commanders and some of their stars and studs getting re-aggravated and hurt.
They held
So
together for one half, and that was it. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. So Debo ended up getting them on the board. He had that toe tap in the end zone, so he gets a
Right.
touchdown. But other than that, not much going on for Washington in this game. Other than that,
Right.
um, and I think didn't Mariota on this one, or was it Jaden? It was
Yeah.
Mariota.
Mariota started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely a different
Yep.
team whenever Jaden's not in there.
Big time. Big time. Yeah.
Well, and again, that's kind of like the same way that it was for Baltimore whenever Lamar wasn't in there. You had Cooper
Right.
Rush in there.
Right. And
Um,
they take bench him and start Huntley, and Huntley looked good. You
and
know.
why is that? Because Huntley is Jackson 2.0, or I should say,
Right. He can scramble.
you know,
He can scramble. He can throw the
yeah,
ball. He
he's
spread the ball around the field. And he got Derrick Henry going also.
right.
So
He's Jackson light. Same
right.
player, same same scheme guy.
Right.
He
Kind
likes
of
to
the same
use his
skill
speed.
set. Not as talented, of course.
No,
But yeah.
he's not a huge threat on the ground, but he is a threat on the ground. Not like Cooper Rush, who
Yeah.
doesn't come
But
out of the
not too
pocket much
rough.
at all.
Right. Right.
So um, you go back into that system to where you like to play that RPO type system with Lamar, and you're able to do that with Snoop. There's your results. They end up winning
Right.
decisively.
Plus, you get your all pro linebacker back, your all pro safety back. I
Right.
mean, all pro cornerback. I mean, that all helps. So,
Yeah, all that helps.
and
All that
Caleb
helps.
Williams is Caleb Williams again.
Yeah,
You know, another one of these games where he just looked pedestrian. So,
right. Nobody won. Nobody got defensive touchdowns this week. We all struck out. So what was that? 13 games that we had this weekend.
yeah, yeah,
So we were terrible. We were
they
bad.
were pretty bad.
Yeah, we were bad. Against
Yeah,
the spread, Matt 3-10, you 6-7, me 4-9. Over unders, we were a little bit better. Matt was 8-5. You and I both were 6-7. So yeah, we all had bad weeks, man.
yeah,
So that brings us into week 9 in our Thursday night game, which is the Baltimore Ravens going into the Miami Dolphins. And the spread on this, I'm getting to it as we're here. The spread on, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, there we go. Week 9. I was on week 8. The spread on this is that Baltimore is giving 8.5, and the over under is set at 51.5. Um, I don't think it's a secret. I'm probably taking Baltimore with this 8.5 because I think obviously this is a better defense than what Atlanta is, especially with these guys coming back and healthy. Um, and if they're going to be able to run this offense with Snoop, even though I think Lamar has, I think it's been declared that Lamar is coming back for this next game.
yeah,
They just wanted to take a little bit more precaution. And if that's the case, then I think that they're gonna take the training wheels off of him, and he's gonna fly. Um, Miami coming in off a short week, even though they're coming off a win. Again, like I talked about with the Steelers and Indianapolis next week or this weekend, if this team wins or loses, it's not going to make a difference. I think this is the case for Miami too. I think they won that game and they won it well, but I don't think it matters for them. I don't think
yeah,
I don't think it's a team builder or anything like that. I just think they
right,
any given Sunday is what they say, right? And I think that was
yeah,
it. I think it was any given Sunday for them, and they were able to pull out a win. I mean, they're 2-6. Baltimore is very hungry. They're 2-5. They're going to want to get things right, and they're going to want to get things right real fast. So I'm going to take Baltimore, but I'm taking the under on this because I just don't think they're going to be able to get the. I don't think Miami's going to score the points that they did, and I think I think the Ravens are going to be scoring most of these points. So I'm going to take the under, and I'm taking Baltimore.
I'm with you on Baltimore. I just think Baltimore puts up 40 by themselves. I give
Right.
Miami 10 points. So 10 to 13 points. So I'm taking Baltimore in the over. And I'm gonna play early TD. There you go.
Okay. Okay. Ravens.
Yep. Yep.
Wow, you're using your defensive touchdown early.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't
Two
think.
of them for 1 or 2 touchdowns a week just happens to be one for the other team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit more into this game. Is that again, I've talked about it already. I think the Ravens, they need these wins now to start stacking up. I think if they lose probably another game here, I think they're pretty much on the outside looking in.
yeah,
Especially considering what Indianapolis is doing, what New England is doing, what Buffalo is doing, what Denver is doing. Those four teams right there. There's the top of your AFC. There's fourth
Kansas City,
and Kansas
Kansas
City,
City.
and there's your fifth.
Yeah.
Because again,
Then you have the Chargers.
well,
You know,
again, you say
when
the
you're
Chargers.
looking at scheme purposes, if they need to get, like you said, win 9 or 10 in a row to win a division, 10 wins will probably win our division. But for seeding purposes, I think they need to stack wins and get them big in a hurry. And I think
Right.
they can with this team. You know,
Yeah,
so
and you mentioned the Chargers, but I think the Chargers are in the same boat. They don't know what they're doing, and they're up, they're down, they're this way, they're that way. They look
right.
good, they look terrible. They're too
They're probably a
inconsistent.
playoff team, but
Yeah,
a
but they're
seven seed,
they're
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 not going to
one
spend
hundred
one though.
percent. They're 100% a last game of the
They're a
year.
contender. Yeah,
They are the last game of the year, win and you're in type of team.
right, right.
They're going to have to rely on other people's destiny
Yep,
for themselves to
totally
get in.
agree. Yep.
Um, so that's how I feel about them right now. Looking at some of these other AFC teams, we've already said the top five, possibly six, and that puts Baltimore rated about 7. So again, yeah, you're gonna have to start stacking these wins. I think this is a great time to do it. You get Lamar back, um, and even though again, Miami comes and gets a pretty decisive win over a team that we all thought or think it should be a lot better than what they are. Uh, I just think it was a trap game. It's a throwaway game. I just
Yeah.
don't think it doesn't do anything for them. It was
No, I
an
agree.
it was an AFC team against an NFC team. I just don't think that there's much into that win. So you know, we'll see. It should be still a fun game. It's in Miami, so it's still going to be warm down there. Well,
Right.
definitely a lot warmer than what it would be at night in Baltimore. So, um, you know, Lamar should be pretty loose and stay loose for the rest of the game. Um, it's looking to be about 73 degrees, but take this into consideration. We talked last week about what ticket prices are and everything like that. Right now, to get into this game down in Miami, it is $60.
There you go.
60
I
bucks.
mean,
So that's what the ticket prices say of what this game means and is.
right, right. It's two teams probably going opposite directions, with the arrow pointing up for Baltimore, the arrow pointing down continuously for the Dolphins, even though they won.
Right.
Not a surprise there, and I just feel it's going to be a yawner, probably a halftime game. You can turn the TV off unless you're betting over, over under.
Or
So
yeah, or if you're like me and you're betting, receptions
your
and
props.
yardage and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so yeah, that is more or less what this game is going to be watched for, not so much
right.
the quality of play between these two teams.
Yeah,
So,
I'll be shocked
um,
if it's close. So
yeah, me too. So, with
yeah.
that being said, we are wrapping up the NFL unless you have anything else to add about this slate.
Nope.
for Thursday or anything that we have talked about or didn't talk about, now is your time to forever hold your pieces.
Time for college.
And done. Yeah, and time for college. Looking into what we did last week, before we move on to what we are going to do this week, we had Ole Miss, Oklahoma. Ole Miss on top. I was the only one on that one. Ole Miss looks good. Oklahoma still looks like they're trying to find things. They look
Yeah.
lost. They look
Yeah.
lost still. They still look lost.
John Mateer, was a Heisman hopeful. He looked bad.
Yeah, still look
He
lost.
looked bad. Yeah.
Missouri and Vanderbilt would have been a different game had Perbola not got hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
That game ends 17-10, but hey, good on you, Vandy. Keep rolling. Iowa, Minnesota. Boy, you called it. Iowa does not take well to people coming into their place, do they?
No.
41 to 3.
Yeah, they destroyed that team.
Demolished them.
I think the only game I picked correct. So.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it was. And then the game that Brian Kelly lost, because he lost this game and he got fired not even more than 48 hours later. So Brian Kelly also loses his job. And from what I understand, they're still trying to figure out the final number on what it's looking like, even though I think he has the biggest buyout at 53 million. Or 54 million, but I think they were still trying to come out with some logistics on that.
They take him and his staff.
Right.
It's going to be somewhere in the range of $101 million for the buyout.
But again, it's LSU. They'll make that money back tenfold.
Yeah. Right.
They're in the SEC. They play in big games. They play in big games all the time. I do have to say LSU, to me, if I'm not mistaken, this is their third loss.
Yeah.
They're completely out.
They're done. Yeah.
They're completely out.
Stick a fork in them.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is Missouri's second loss. This probably sinks them. They're probably out of the playoff picture.
Yeah.
And
big
Oklahoma
for A&M, still undefeated.
Yes.
Vandy, big boost. I mean,
right.
So
Vandy's going to move up in the rankings. They're going to go from 10 to probably 8, if I had to guess. Oklahoma is probably out as well of the CFP.
Right.
I think that was also their third loss.
Their third loss, yeah.
So they are completely out. And you did hit your defensive touchdown on this as well. You hit Iowa for a defensive touchdown. I think they had 2. They had one. Yeah, they had one. I think it was a kickoff. It was either a kickoff or a punt return, but it was a return. And then the other one was an interception return. So you actually had 2 of them on this one. The rich keep getting richer. Super Dogs, Matt, Akron over Buffalo, plus 10.5.
A win.
The rich keep getting richer. 10.5 point dogs. Win outright, 24-16. And he ends up putting up 23.5 points on us in our point scale system. And now he's at 100 even.
Wow.
He's at 100 even. UCLA lost 56-6.
So that's smack.
So their 25.5 points didn't mean dick.
Right.
And the worst one was mine.
Right.
Which they were 38.5 point dogs and lost 42-0.
Yeah.
42-0. They couldn't even get a freaking field goal.
Right.
So me and you both end up with goose eggs on our super dogs, and that is what it is. Picks, bad. Matt went 0-4 against the spread. You went 1-3. I went 2-2. Over unders, you and Matt tied 1-3. I went 2 for 2. So I went 50%. You guys went worse.
Yeah, horrible week.
Yeah, bad week all around. So that brings us into our slate for this week. So let me get switched over to college football, and I will give you the teams that we are going to talk about quickly. Okay, let me get there. So there's a couple games going on right now. Kennesaw State, UTEP, they're playing. James Madison and Texas State is playing. That both of those games at halftime. And that's Thursday. Okay, here's Friday. So we have a 12 o'clock game. Oh, that's Friday. Sorry, Saturday. 12 o'clock game. Um, one of the bigger games here. Number 9 Vanderbilt going into Texas to face number 20. And the spread on this hasn't changed. It is Texas is giving 2.5 to Vandy, and the over under is set at 45.5. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did or did not Arch Manning get hurt in the last game?
He's in concussion protocol. He is hurt. Another injury also, questionable to play, which might be a blessing in this game. To be honest with you, he has not played good ball all year. Texas is probably lining up another 5-star recruit to play for them. But Vandy's tough, man. Vandy is legit. They're the real deal.
I was just gonna say. I mean, with the way that Vandy has played, and the fact that they're getting 2.5, I'm having a hard time to go and sit here and think that Texas is going to be the better team on Saturday. So
The surprising thing with me is Vandy's defense. I mean, I knew their offense could score, but their defense is playing really good ball.
Right.
And Texas has been winning on their defense all year, so tough pick going into Texas, but it's tough to bet against the Commodores right now. It really is.
And I'm going with it. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight the flow of water in this scenario. I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to take Vandy. I'm going to take the plus 2.5. I'm going to take the over as well, 45.5. I think they're going to be. I think especially if it's going to be another 5-star recruit back there for Texas. I don't. I'm hoping he won't be skittish in his debut game if he ends up playing, whoever that man is.
Right.
If Arch ends up not being able to play in this game, I hope he's able to sling it. But if not, I still feel confident in the 45.5 in this game.
Yeah. I'm going to take Texas in this one. I think that defense is going to make a play to win it. Regardless of who is a quarterback, Texas needs a big win. I'm going to take the under. I think Texas is going to play a little ball control, trying to run the ball, try to bully Vanderbilt around. Even though Vandy has a really good defense, give me Texas in the under in this one.
Okay. So we're going to get away from the common games that we typically pick, and we're going to go into one that we don't ever pick. This one is going into the American League. We are going to be watching at noon. We're going to be watching Navy, undefeated Navy, take on 7-1 North Texas. And North Texas is giving Navy 6.5. And the over under, get this, is set at 65.5.
Wow, what's the over under 6.5 Navy's getting?
Navy is getting 6.5.
65? Holy cow.
65.5 on the over under on it.
Wow. That seems like a lot of points in a Navy game, but I don't know.
North Texas puts up points too. Just to give you a little bit of reference, North Texas. This is just North Texas.
Okay.
North Texas against Larimer, 51-0. West Michigan, 33-30. Washington State, 59-10. Army, 49-38. South Alabama, 30-22. South Florida, 63-36. They lost that game. That was their one loss. And they still scored 36 points in that game.
Wow.
UTSA, 55-17. And Charlotte, 54-20. The lowest amount they've scored all year has been 33 points against Western Michigan.
Wow.
Now, if you're curious, like I am about Navy,
I just checked at Navy. 52, 38, 42, 21, 34, 32, 42. All undefeated, by the way.
mm-hmm.
So
So
two teams that can put the
what's the
score.
least they scored this year?
21-13, they beat Rice.
21.
Yeah.
So 21 points. And the least that North Texas has scored all year is 33.
Right. So that's 54.
Right.
That's on a bad week.
Right. Yeah, I'm having a hard time not wanting to pick the over of 65.5, even though it's large. These two teams can easily score points. Now, what has North Texas's defense let up? I'll tell you. 0, 30, 10, 38, 22, 63, 17, and 20.
Wow.
And I'm assuming that South Florida was able to put 63 on them because they're Florida and they're fast.
Right, exactly.
I mean, there was a point in time where in that Charlotte game where Charlotte was all over them.
Right.
And then in the second half, they just pulled away.
I mean, in that Charlotte game, I just checked, their quarterback threw for 608 yards.
Yeah. He didn't look good. I'll tell you what, though, that team didn't look good in the first half.
It was 17-17 at the half that game.
What's up?
It was 17-all at the half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow. And this team can throw the ball around, that's for sure.
And then the second half, they just lit it up.
Right. Wow. I got mine.
I mean, I'm having a hard time not wanting to pick Navy when they're undefeated and they're getting 6.5.
Right. Their quarterback, Jesus. He runs for 150 yards a game, it looks like. Jesus, 160, 155.
All right. My locks are in. I'm going to take the points. I'm going to take the undefeated team, Navy, which is getting 6.5, which is crazy to me. And I'm going to go the over on this game. I think it's going to be a shootout.
I'm with you. Give me Navy and the over.
All right.
I think it's going to be a lot of points scored, and a lot of points scored.
Yeah.
No defense.
I'll tell you what, this will probably be one of the games I'm going to try to find and watch. And let's just.
It'll be on. It's on TV.
It should be on TV.
Yeah. It's on TV and it's on
ESPN2.
Yeah. Yep.
So
that's a fun game to watch.
Yep. The next two games are later in the day, 7:30 both. And the reason why is because I didn't find any 3:30 game that I thought was interesting. I just didn't. There was one that looked promising, but still I was unsure about. I'm looking now at this Arizona State and Iowa State game, and they're both 5-3. It's at 1:00, and the Cyclones are giving 7.5 to Arizona State. Georgia, Florida, but Florida's not that great. Pittsburgh keeps winning. We're going to end up doing a Pittsburgh game here soon.
Another game in 3 weeks.
I was going to say, if they keep winning, we're going to end up doing some pick games here.
Yeah, the freshman keeps playing well.
Yeah.
They took him out in the third quarter, 423 yards. I mean,
Yeah, and the only reason why I didn't put them up here was Stanford because it's Stanford number one,
No, it's Stanford.
And Pitt's
Plus,
given they're given
14. That's too
yeah
much.
they're given 14 and a half. Like I'm trying to keep them a little bit closer than that.
Stanford might be my pick.
Well, Fresno State and Boise State was a close one until I looked at the spread and it's Boise State giving 17 and a half. So I was like, no, maybe not.
Crazy.
That's why I said when I looked at some of these 3:30 games, I was like, nah, I don't think I like any of these. So
Yeah.
with that being said, I moved on. I went to the 7:30 games, and they're pretty big. Um, number 18 Oklahoma, number 14 Tennessee. We just got done
Ooh,
talking about Oklahoma, but this one in this matchup, Oklahoma is getting 3.5. Um, make sure that that is still true. Yes, Oklahoma is getting 3.5, and the over under is set at 56.5.
57 and a half.
56.
56 and a half.
Yes. So both teams are 6-2. Oklahoma is 2-2 in section play, and Tennessee is 3-2 in section
Wow.
play. I'm not going with Oklahoma. I'm going with Tennessee. But I'm going to go the under in this game because I think 56.5 is a little bit too rich for the two teams right now.
Okay. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say Oklahoma in the under. They need to get back on the horse really quick. And I trust they lost last week because their offense was so bad. Even though their defense gave points, but Mississippi scores points on everybody. So I'm gonna take Oklahoma in the under. It's their last straw. If they lose this game, they're done.
Well, they're completely done.
I mean, they're done anyway, but to be respectable. So.
Yeah. And then the last game that I have here that looked the most promising. Oh, all right. I'm going to let you decide. Okay. We can either take unranked USC. Well, I'm sorry. USC is now ranked again. We can either take ranked USC and Nebraska, or we can take the late game 17 Cincinnati versus 24 Utah.
Ooh. I kind of like Cincinnati, Utah.
Okay, we'll change it.
I think it's kind of intriguing right there.
Yep, we'll change it. And the reason why too that I like it is because
10-15 kickoff too. So
it's a 10-15 kickoff, but also we haven't taken Cincinnati. We've taken
right.
We've taken USC a couple times.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to switch this out. 17 Cincinnati and 24 Utah, which we've been on Utah a couple times too. All right, so we switched that around. We're going to take a late game this time. Again, I'll reiterate: number 17 Cincinnati goes into number 24 Utah to take on the Utes. The Utes are going to give 8.5, and the over under is set at 55.5. Cincinnati is 7-1. They're 5-0 in Big 12 play. Utah is 6-2, and they are 3-2 in Big 12 play.
Wow. Interesting game. Interesting matchup.
Yeah. Just looking into Utah and what they've done, looking into Cincinnati now. And this is going to be on ESPN. So their only loss, Cincinnati, was Nebraska, the first game of the year.
Right.
And it was a close game. And other than the last two games, all of their games have been pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, except for Northwestern State, which they they piled on 70-0. Hmm. Ooh, Cincinnati plays BYU towards the end of the year. That will be interesting, especially with this game. Um, I'm going to take the points. I'm going to take Cincinnati. Um, but I'm going to take the under 55.5.
I'm with you on this one, man. I like Cincinnati under.
Okay.
The 8.5 is too much to me, in my opinion. I think you. I don't know. I don't know who wins this game, but I think it's going to be a close game.
I do too.
I just think a little more defense is going to play, and we could see a lot of snow this weekend. By the way, up in Utah, so
could play a big factor.
Yeah. So give me the Bearcats and the under. So we're both on that one.
Yep. Okay. So Super Dog. I think that because I kind of looked at this a little bit earlier, and I think I picked mine. And the spread stayed the same. I think I like Fresno State at plus 17.5.
Okay. One that caught my eye because I just can't ever get behind this team. I don't know how they're good. I'm taking UAB getting 11.5 against UConn.
Okay.
I don't know how UConn wins. I really don't. But they've been beating teams, which they lost to Rice, but they beat FIU, they beat BC, they beat Ball State, beat some good teams. They lost to Syracuse, who's bad. They lost to Delaware, who's decent. I don't know. Just give me. I don't know if they win this game. I don't think they cover if they do win. So give me UAB in 11.5.
UAB 11.5. Okay.
I didn't see any crazy ones that came like last week that came. I said, "Wow!" when I looked at.
Yeah.
By the way,
there isn't any really. There isn't any that are out there that are like, holy hell. I think
like over 30. No.
Yeah. I think one of the most that I've seen so far is Kansas. They're giving 24.5 to Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Like there's games like Montana versus Weber State getting 26.5. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, like BC's getting 28.5 against Notre Dame, but I don't trust Boston College.
No.
You know.
No, not at all.
Another one that interests me was Louisiana Monroe getting 16.5 against Old Dominion.
I saw that
interesting.
Too. I saw
that's
that
an interesting one right there.
That
but
one
they just can't score.
Yeah, that one interested me as well.
Yeah. They just cannot score.
Yeah, I don't know enough. And I almost took Stanford because I just think that.
I think Stanford covers.
Yeah,
I do.
I just think that sometimes Pitt.
They play down their level opponents.
Yeah,
what they do.
Mean, they don't wow you when they win. They don't wow you.
No, Stanford was 7-7 at halftime against Miami last week. They lost 42-7, but Miami blew out the second half. But Pitt going out to Stanford, West Coast game never looks good. Plus they don't wow me. They don't. I don't know. To me, 14.5 is way too much. So.
I mean, I guess the biggest wow was when they beat Florida State, and they beat them by 3, but they beat them, right?
Yeah, but then I looked at the stats. Florida State hasn't won an ACC game. They're 0-9 their last ACC. 0-9 the last ACC game. So,
right.
That's it on paper, I guess. But after you look at it, you're like, you know.
I mean, Here's Pitt's schedule. You know it more than I do, but I'm just looking at it now. Duquesne 61-9, Central Michigan 45-17, a loser at West Virginia 31-24, a loser to Louisville 34-27.
But they had
Lost.
a 14-point lead with 7 minutes left in both of those games. You know.
Um, and then these are all wins now. Boston College 48-7, Florida State 34-31, Syracuse 30-13, NC State 53-34.
Right.
Other than the Florida State game, because again, at one point in time, Florida State looked like they could have gone on a run this year.
Right.
And at that point in time, when Pitt beat them, they were, I think they were ranked. I think they were ranked.
They were ranked 16 or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's probably the most impressive win that they have for me, looking at it on paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't have a favorable matchup coming up in the next couple weeks.
No, here's the thing. So right now they're winning games right now with all 4 starting defensive linemen out. Their 2 All-American linebackers are out. Their All-American running backs out. So I can't believe how they're winning games with a freshman quarterback. And plus this week their 2 best tight wide receivers got hurt. So, I don't know what the matchup is, but the freshmen are coming in and playing well for them. They have 2 linebackers that may be first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. They're that good, Bowles and Lewis. But they're winning with freshmen. It's unbelievable what Narduzzi's done this year, surprisingly.
Why are we not taking Pitt then? Why are we not taking Stanford against Pitt?
Well, I like them, but I'm not gonna. I don't bet or for against my team, so I'm not doing that. Plus, I don't know what the injury report looks like right now. I have a feeling they're gonna try to get bring back guys slowly. From what I understand, 3 of the guys are ready to come back and play. I just don't know if the 2 linebackers come back. Stanford's in a world of trouble. But again, with all those 4 defensive linemen out, that's huge. That's huge. So.
And I don't think Pitt has depth like these other schools.
Well, they won last week without 5 defensive linemen and both linebackers out. So,
they played NC State.
Yeah, they're better than Stanford. Stanford's bad. They're one of the worst teams in the 1A. So, Stanford at home is a good football team, though. On the road, they're different. They're garbage. So, Stanford won the last 4 at home. So, that's what if I was a betting man, I'd probably take Stanford to 14.5. So, but the one X factor is that freshman. The kid's the real deal. He looks really good.
I might kick myself for not taking this game, but you're making me wishy-washy on
it. Listen, I'm being the typical Pitt fan, knowing my team,
right,
and not thinking that they're better than they are.
Hey, look what happened when I said Northwestern's going to beat Penn State outright.
Right.
It's like I'm telling you.
I'm a realist with my teams. In this team, I don't think they're 2 touchdowns better than Stanford. I don't, especially with all the injuries. If everyone was healthy, different story. The big key is Des Reed. If this kid, if he's healthy, he's going to be a star in the NFL. He is unbelievable, playmaker wise as a wide receiver / running back. The kid's amazing, but he got stepped on last game. Didn't play in the second half. Their number 1 receiver ankle got stepped on. After he scored his touchdown, his wrist got stepped on. He left the game. But then we had a freshman come in, this Blue Hicks. He had 7 catches for $190 and 2 touchdowns in the second half. Like, they're replacing these guys with kids from Miami, and just the speed of these guys is tremendous. There's a different element to this team that I'm seeing because of the speed on defense and at the skill position that the starters don't have. So. But I'm not telling you to pick them. I'm just saying how this game's interesting. But yeah. Listen, you have until Friday.
You're gonna give me until
Friday.
You're gonna give me until Friday.
Yeah.
You're gonna give me until Friday.
Yeah. When Matt makes his pick, you can change it if need be. I'm waiting to see the injury report myself. So
I don't know because they beat FSU as well, and
yeah,
they beat them by more than three, which Pitt only beat
right,
them by three.
right.
But they got smoked by Miami. They got smacked by SMU. They got beat up by Virginia.
Oh, they're not good. They're not a good football team.
Yeah,
Don't mistake me there. They're not a good, but they're 4-0 in home games in their last four, dating back to last year. So they're a different team at Palo Alto for sure. For sure.
but again, I look at some of these wins that Pitt has, and I'm not surprised. I'm not impressed by them. BC,
Yeah,
Syracuse, NC State. Like I'm not
they
I'm
should have
not
beat them
impressed.
teams. Right, they
Right,
should have beat those teams.
right.
So right. In all honesty, they should have beat West Virginia and Louisville up 14 with 7 minutes left, both games. You
Right.
know, so
Man.
but different quarterback though. So
All right.
the kid is fearless. So
I'm gonna hold off for now, but I'm gonna be watching this one close. I'm
yeah,
watching that one close. That is very intriguing to me.
good thing for
Oh,
Pitt is they have a bye week next week and another game in 2 weeks. So
not to mention this is gonna be this is gonna be a 3:30 game at Stanford, which is gonna feel like a noon game.
right. Well, that's why you play anyway. So man, that wouldn't bother me if it was a noon game out there, it would bother me. But you know, which it is actually. Wait a minute, it is out there technically. Yeah, yeah,
So it's technically a noon game.
right, yeah.
I wonder if that's gonna mess with them.
I don't know.
Because like you
Not
said, I
sure.
mean it's a 3:30 game here, but
Right,
it's a noon game over there.
right. But they
So
played 4 or 5 straight noon games, so you know.
yeah, but it's not gonna feel like noon.
No, not out west. Not when you go the other way. Yeah, it doesn't.
Not
That's
gonna
why
feel like
I always like those opposite coast teams when you're traveling. That's another thing that always sticks in my mind. That
mm-hmm.
home team has a big advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, that I kind of like that because Fresno and Boise, they're not that far away
they're
from
close to each other right there.
each.
Yeah,
Yeah, Fresno's in what California, right?
yeah, yeah. And Boise's right up the hill. So
And
yeah.
Idaho, so that's not that bad.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be paying attention to this big time. The time difference right there, like you said, I'm
Mhm.
really liking it.
Yep.
Hey, and if you're lucky, if you get out to Stanford, you can go and watch this game for $7.
That much?
That,
Wow.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah. So, all right. Well, if that's all you got, that's all I got.
Good for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I will get these sent over to Matt and have him give us his picks on those. Um, Friday we'll go over some of the other numbers. Uh, but yeah, other than that, that is all I have. If you have
Cool.
anything
Sounds
else,
good.
if you
Nope.
have
That's
anything
it.
else, okay. Well, that's now. With that being said, then thanks everybody for joining us on this quick little Tuesday show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, give us all the juicy little details about the show that you liked or didn't like. Tell us to fuck off, whatever. We don't care. We're sports dummies. This is what we like to do.
That's it.
So it is what it is. So, with that being said, we will see everybody back here on Friday around 9 p.m. Hopefully, a little bit earlier. I think we're all pretty much free. Maybe, well, not you. You have a playoff game to get ready for.
Playoff game. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll still be back by 9.
Yeah.
But we will be starting to get into parts of the year here where we can go a little bit earlier because football is not
Yes.
going to last forever for high school. So,
Right.
with that being
So
said,
this will be it for me. Because after this week, it's all neutral site.
yeah, but you still don't feed them. before they
They're
leave?
not. No, no.
Oh, okay.
That's
All right.
boosters. That's a booster. So
Okay. All right. Well, then, if that's the case, then maybe next week we go in a little bit earlier, depending on how
yeah.
everybody's doing. So that's
Yep.
that could be interesting. Okay. So, all right. Then we will see everybody back here on Friday at 9 p.m. And have yourself a good week. And we'll see everybody back here on Friday. So,
Yes, sir.
good
Sounds
night,
good.
everybody.
We are out later.